Halo, apa kabar semuanya? Nama saya Agus Etika. Saya diminta untuk berbagi pengalaman saya untuk bekerja di hospitality industry. Uh, saya akan berbicara dengan bahasa Inggris dan bahasa Indonesia juga. Mudah-mudahan apa yang saya bagikan hari ini bisa bermanfaat untuk semuanya. Okay, so I grew up in Bali. I spent most of my life in Bali. So I went to school from elementary school, middle school, high school, and I even spent about 2 years in college until I decided to uh, find something like learn a skill that helped me to get a job. So at that time, I chose a bartending. I took a short course for the bartending class. It took about like 8 months, including training at the bars, some bars and hotels. They gave me about like a 6 month of theory and practice. Also, they helped me also to get a job training in some hotels in Bali. I just remember that few hotels that I was training to get a job training until I found my first job as a bartender at the hotel called Bali Intercontinental at Jimbaran. That was my first job as the bartenders. I was there around almost 3 years, and then I resigned, and then I decided to do my own business. A few things that I tried, and then I was also end up tried to raise business, a chicken business, raised some chicken and then sold them. I did that a few years until I decided it was in 1998. It's a crisis, economical crisis, very big that happened at that time. So talking with the friends, and then somebody giving an idea, why don't you just apply and then work at the cruise ship? It was a good idea, and then I was thinking about it, and then I make application to one of the cruise line agency in Bali. And that time I was applying to a cruise line company called Norwegian Cruise Line, and I was applying as a bartender position. But at that time they didn't have any bartending or bartender position in that application, so they offered me as the bar server. It took me about like a 6 month or 7 months to get my application proof, and then they gave me interview. It was interview. First interview was in agency, cruise line agency in Bali, and then they had me also the second interview, the cruise line agency in Jakarta. And I got a job, so I took the offer as the bar server in that time, because that's the only position that they have for the bar department. So when I got a job as the bar server at the Norwegian Cruise Line, took me about like 4 months or 5 months to get all the paperwork done, and then this agency helped me to get all the things that we need, like such as prepare my passport, also applying for visa, working visa. It was that's called a seaman visa, and then around in the beginning of or the middle of 1999, they flew me to Houston for my first contract at Norwegian Cruise Line. So I was spent about like 8 months in the first contract as a bar server. It was a fun job. a lot of things that you can learn on the cruise ship. Okay, got a lot of experience. You see different places, a different world, part of the world. Also, if you have a time off, when you port in the one of the destination, you can just go out to the land and then see the places on the ship itself. Or as a crew, okay, they call it VR, who works on the cruise ship, they call it crew. They provide you a housing, like called cabin. So you spare cabin could be with 3 or 4 other fellow crew, and you got also food and everything you need as a crew. There's a crew mess, also crew cafeteria, that you can have your lunch or your dinner or whatever you need in the ship. Basically, it's like a big hotels, and the floating big hotels. It's a crew area that you can spend your days if you're not working. And then the first contract that I had, it was in the ship called Seaward. There's a Norwegian cruise line on it. They had about, I think, about 6 different bars and lounges, and then they also have a discotheque or a club, nightclub, and everything. Also, of course, they have a pool bar just right on the deck in the open space. It was really a lot of excitement. You work on the ship, you meet a lot of people from around the world. Even the crew itself, has come from around the world, that you can learn their culture and everything. Well, talking about the contract, everybody in that time, everybody at least spent 6 until 8 months as a contract. And then they give you break around almost 2 months or 3 months to go back home, and then you sign another contract if they have another contract for you to go back. Well, that's the next contract. Sometime they put you in the different ship, so sometime you won't come back in the same ship for the next one. But anyway, I was head with the Norwegian Cruise Line until my 3rd contract. But in the 3rd contract, I decided not to go back to have my 3rd contract. I decided to move to United States. The reason that I moved to the United States, that I had some friends who lives in there, and then they told me actually how to live in the United States, and I have some different experience. Okay, things I learned on the cruise ship while I was working as the bar surfer, and in the first 4 months they put me in any location. So because they have about like 6 different location on board on ship, so after 4 months they trained me as a wine steward. So everybody got tests and then training to be a wine steward. It was very interesting. It's completely different with the as a bar surfer. One thing you need to know about drinks, also knowledge about the bar and beverage. But in the wine steward, it's kind of like a different level, which is that they teach you or they train you, they show you how the history of the wine, not just the taste, what kind of grapes they made, and such a thing. So as a wine steward, there's completely different location that you work. Mostly you work in a fine dining room that serve wines of all the kind, and also in the lounge. But like I said, that until my 3rd contract, I decided to move to United States, and then I chose Atlanta, Georgia, such as that we are currently live now in Atlanta, Georgia. got some friends who was there before, so I moved to the United States, and then some friends took me there, and then I remember it's beginning of 2000, around 2000, they found me a job. So my first job in Atlanta, I was working at a Chinese restaurant called Le Petit Bistro. Le Petit Bistro, they serve French cuisine and also Mediterranean cuisine, such as like a different games. I was started as a bartender or bar server who learned a lot about the drinks and all that kind, and then I have to started working as at the restaurant, and then learn how to deal with the food. The first position that I got when I was in Atlanta as a salad maker. It's kind of it's very different. They show me how to make to show me all kind of vegetable, fruits, and everything, and also pasta. So they had all kind of salad called pasta salad, all kind of vegetable that I need to learn how to cut the vegetable, how to make a pasta, how to prepare the dressing or sauces and all that kind of stuff. So it was so interesting how you learn something new, and then you don't realize that there might be gonna be something you like in the future. And then they also have serve sandwiches, all kind of meat, from chicken and all kind of meats and cheese and breads they serve, and they also all have some hot food. So all those kind of things that I learned in that restaurant, in the Le Petit Bistro, make me interested with the food. Okay, so that's how I become. I learned how become a cook, and I learned how to prepare. Learning about prepare how to work in the kitchen. Took me about a year to learn all this kind of thing in that restaurant. Until the second year I work in that company, they put me on the road, call it to be a trainer, because in the second year I work, the company they started to open more restaurant in some different cities in the United States. So they put me as a trainer, train the new crews, new employees, and different the new restaurant location, how to prepare a salad, how to prepare a sandwich, how to cook, to prepare whatever they have in the menu. It was on the road, so they sent us sometime to spend a month in one city just to prepare, to get ready one of the restaurant, and then after done they send you again the different other city until the another location ready. It was a lot of fun. That gave me a lot of experience to see a different city in the United States. They sent me, like, for instance, they sent me to New York for a few weeks, to Philadelphia, to Michigan, to Chicago also, and other cities. So it's just very, very, very exciting. And then I was working in that company about like 4 until 5 years as a trainers, as a cook, they call it, or so, whatever. They put me in a position that I can learn so much about the food, how to prepare, and how to running the kitchen. That's very important. Or somebody could call you as a chef, where you can prepare the menu, set up the menu, and then you have some crews work with you in the kitchen, not to just to make the food ready, but also you do budgeting to calculate all the costs, how to running the restaurant. That's what they call you chef. But I didn't call myself as a chef. I just call myself as the people who work to know how to work in the kitchen. But anyway, after almost 5 years in that Lepeti Bistro company, I got another job offer to running two cafes. Okay, they call it Simmer Cafe. Simmer Cafe right in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. They had two locations just across the street to each other's. They and location in the office building. So office building. The schedule is very nice. They just open 5 days, Monday to Friday, and then they serve only breakfast and lunch. So basically, it's very nice that I had Saturday and Sunday off. So I work in the morning for breakfast and lunch only, Monday to Friday, and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon done, and then you just start it again, and off. They close Saturday and Sunday. So in the Simmer Cafe is very interesting because the food is completely different with the menu completely different with the Lepeti Bistro that I worked before. So mostly what they serve at Simmer Cafe is just anything you can throw in there. Whatever the menu. The owner of the cafe loves to have experience, which is the customer can have any kind of food with different variety, different jenis yang mereka mau taruh di menu. Seperti misalkan satu hari kita bisa serve American breakfast such as like a biscuit, hash brown, grits, turkey sausage, any kind of meat. Sometimes the next day kita bisa serve Asian breakfast or lunch, any kind of food that we can throw anything. So the owner of the cafes wants to have everybody kind of different food because that cafe's location in a two office building. Yang satu building itu paling tidak sekitar hampir 2.000 orang yang bekerja di bangunan di building itu, dan taruhlah setiap hari sekitar 500 orang turun untuk breakfast and lunch. So they don't want the cafe serve everybody same food. Okay, well. Walaupun sebenarnya sometimes we have this same menu, there is certain same menu that we need to have that, like coffee of course. Kadang kita punya breakfast menu yang sama, seperti misalkan kita punya roti, kita punya scrambled egg or sausage yang kita harus taruh di menu setiap saat, tapi diusahakan setiap saat atau setiap hari atau setiap minggu itu ada menu-menu yang berbeda. Jadi setiap orang punya pengalaman atau merasakan bisa menu yang berbeda. Saya kurang lebih sekitar 7 tahun manage cafe itu. Posisi saya waktu itu bisa dibilang chef, juga manager atau store manager mereka sebut, to running that place about like 7 years. Banyak pengalaman dan banyak pelajaran yang bisa saya dapat. Nah, setelah 7 tahun kemudian saya dan istri memutuskan untuk tidak lagi di restoran bisnis atau food beverage, dan kita memulai dengan usaha lain yaitu dry cleaning business sampai sekarang. But saya tidak akan cerita mengenai dry cleaning business. Alhamdulillah sekitar sudah 7 tahun kita lakukan itu. Tapi yang jelas saya ingin adik-adik atau siapa mendengar video ini, kalau didengar dari cerita saya, with my story, I change a lot, I switch a lot from one career to another, one skills to another. Okay. apapun yang whatever you want to do, whatever you really, or you have a dream job or whatever you want to do, you need to learn, although you need to work hard to get it first. Okay, let's say you want to work in the cruise ship, you want to work in the hospitality industry. What you need to do, you need to learn the skills very good, and then you work hard to get it until you get it, that position. Let's say you want to be a cook, you want to be a bartender, you want to be a server, you want to be anything you want in the hospitality restaurant, hospitality industry, and hotels, restaurant, or cruise ship, anything. Until you get the position you like, you learn it. Okay? You learn it until you get at it, you're good at it. And then if there is opportunity to try something different, you take it. Okay? Do not afraid to try something different, to try something new. And also, if you really want to work on the cruise ship, what your first intention working on the ship? My first intention working on the ship because money. Okay, because when I was working at the cruise ship as a bar server, they guarantee, they pay us as the bar server monthly is like guarantee salary, $1,100 guarantee, and also they want us to make more sales than the guarantee salary, so we can get a commission 10% out of our sales. Okay, so you can add up how much money you make, and then that's my first intention. Why did I make decision working on the cruise ship? Now it's completely up to you. What intention, either money, either you want to travel, you want to learn, or you want to see other culture, whatever it is, stick with it. Okay, stick with it. So it's very very eye-opening experience if you can see other words, okay, other places, other people's cultures, and even other languages. Okay, that's cruise ship, one of them. And then also, whatever your intention is, you stick with it, you work hard to get it, and then until you get that position, get that what you want, you work hard to be good at it. Okay, and then it's nothing wrong, especially when you're still young. You can have a different dreams, and do not scare to get your dreams, and then do not scare to work hard, and also try to be honest and be a good person, because when you work on the cruise ship, sometimes you realize or not, you represent not just yourself as a human being, but also you represent as the country you came from. So that is also important. Okay, so I think that's all. I hope whatever I share, it's really it's a little bit help you to gain an idea how to work on the cruise ship, or how to work in the hospitality industry. So good luck, guys, and then be good. Thank you.